When the narcissist cannot control you, they will start something called a smear campaign. A lot of you know what a smear campaign is, but a lot of you have been asking me, what is a smear campaign and what does it look like? This is usually when a narcissist cannot control you. Either they discarded you and you finally said, okay, I take it. You don't like me. You don't want me. I'm going to go by my business and just do my own thing, and you completely ignore them, or worse yet, if you discarded them. This is usually when the smear campaign gets worse. For me, I always believe that the smear campaign is at the end of the relationship, especially when you have figured them out. At least that's what it was for me. The smear campaign began when I told the narcissist I was not going to marry him because we were engaged to be married. I started to see who he really was, and I told him flat out, I'm not moving on with this. I'm not going to marry you, because I knew I had a lot to lose, and I knew that this narcissist wanted to be a leash, and I knew he was jealous of me, jealous of my career. He was just not a good person. I saw how he treated his children, saw how he treated the mother of his children, saw how he treated his own mother and sister. I didn't want any part of that. The unfortunate part of me for me was that things were moved so fast, which is typical for a narcissistic relationship. I had moved out of state. I had bought a house. We were living in the house together, so it was hard to kind of just get up and leave. I had a whole mortgage in my name. I had a car payment in my name. I had a whole bunch of stuff in my name. I couldn't just get up and leave. So I had to play smart. Remember when I always say play smart or be dumb, or play dumb but be smart? That's what I had to do. So when I did that, when I finally told the narcissist that I wasn't going to marry him, that's when the smear campaign started to happen. First thing the narcissist did was he went online and started telling people that my house was his house. A whole nother story. We'll get into that at a different point. Second thing he started to say was any and everything he could say. He started to assassinate my character. He started to tell his family, the same family he wasn't talking to for months because he met a new good supply. He started to talk ish about me to the same family. He got back close to those family members, got back close to his toxic friends. He started to just assassinate my character. That's what they do when they see that you're about to leave, or you know them, you have unveiled them or unmasked them. They know that you have too much information about them, and you could be a danger if you are allowed to. So the first thing they'll do, they'll assassinate your character so that nobody can listen to you when it's time to talk. Mine just didn't do that. He went to the internet. He started to literally create a YouTube channel, multiple social media channel, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, created all of these channels, and his content were me. He said the most gruesome things. He said the most nastiest things. He said any and everything he could say. It started out with little videos here and there, and it took off. And the fact that I too had a YouTube channel, he was so terrified that if I said something, if I came out and really talked about my experience with him, the people who really know him would believe him. So what best way to do that than to start that smear campaign against me and then go online with it, so that before I even say something, now it's a big confusion. Now nobody knows who to believe. What I did was I played dumb. I played very dumb. I stayed quiet. And as I told you guys, someday I'll tell you guys my escape plan and some of the things that I did to finally discard the narcissist, because he was not going to leave. He was not going anywhere. Every time I try to leave, he'll pull me back. Every time I try to leave, he'll threaten me with something. Every time I try to leave, he'll say, I'm going to expose you. There was nothing to expose, but he was destined to expose me. Until this day, most of his video titles are, I'm gonna expose her. There's nothing to expose. There was literally, I don't have one criminal background, never ever been in anybody's handcuff or jail, never been in the court system except for when I got with him, because he sued me multiple times to try to get my attention, which is another form of smear campaign. Is another form of using the legal system to bully someone. That's what he did. I was never married to this man, but I have literally been going through a divorce with him because the suing continues to happen. We literally have a lawsuit. And what he would do is he'll sue me because I literally discarded him, sold my house, moved out of state, and started doing better. The minute I left this dude, my whole life turned upside down. I was down, depressed, broke, skinny, ugly, everything when I was with this dude, because he drained the living daylight out of me. When I left, I started to be myself again, be happy, do my business, create content, do all of the things. Even with everything he tried to do to break me down, I ignored him. But before I did that, I had to come up with a plan, because again, I had a mortgage in my name, car payment, I had all of these things in my name. And this dude was he literally posted my address to the internet. It was dark. This thing was dark. But because he was afraid that if I said something, if I was the one who came out and said something, especially because I had receipts of everything that I was going to say, he started a smear campaign. He started it before I could even say something. So this is what they'll do. Because they know that you know them, because they know that you have evidence and you have proof, you have everything, they'll confuse people by assassinating your character so that before you come out and say something, everybody already thinks you're crazy. Everybody already thinks that you're the crazy one. So the smear campaign can be anything from just between close friends and family member. It could be spread to your friends and family, or it could be on the internet, depending on who you are. In my case, I was a social media influencer. I have been a YouTube. I would consider myself not too much of an OG, but kind of an OG, because a lot of people just got into content creation. I've been creating content for almost 7 years now, and I did really well for myself on YouTube. So I was popular there. So because I was a popular person on a platform like YouTube with, at that time, over 1.5 million followers, he knew that he could really, really assassinate my character. At that time, my content was only about healthcare, skincare, nursing, hair care. I was very, very popular for my hair content. That was all my content. I never talked about my personal business, never did anything of that nature. So he then started to post about our personal business. He created these reactive abuse videos and started to post about it. So that created a whole bunch of confusion. Not only did it create clout for him because he was talking about this big YouTuber that he was connected to, so it grew his channel because, people like drama. So some people were going over there to cuss him out because they could see right through him. But some people wanted the tea. Some people wanted to see what was going on. In Mercy land, so they went over there. Either way, it created the supply and the clout that he wanted, but it also, in his mind, ruined my career, because that was his goal. He would even say it on his video that he would bring me down, he would destroy me, he's not gonna stop until I'm completely finished. He tried for 2.5 years. This man has tried. He's failed miserably, but he has tried. But you know why he failed? I ignored him. I have never till this day directly responded to any of his video. I have never, ever gone on the internet to debunk any of his rumors. I have never called him to call him out. I have never established or acknowledged him. I have never called any of his family member to cry and beg. I have never done any of that. Never. I ignore him. The worse the rumors got, the more I got quiet. The worse they got, the more I post my regular content, or if I needed to take a break, or if I needed to go, up on my therapy session, I did that. I never, ever, ever responded to him. And that's the worst thing you can do to them. What it does to them when you ignore them and go no contact, it renders them irrelevant. And the feeling of irrelevance is more painful to them than any argument, than any debunking of any rumors, than any defending yourself. None of that matters, because the more you do that, the more you engage. So I just say that to say, if you're going through a situation with the narcissist where there's an actual smear campaign, ignore it. Don't engage. Don't try to clear up the rumors. Don't tell your side of the story. Don't do any of that. The best thing you can do for yourself is to get yourself in a safe situation away from them. And that's what I did. I played dumb for, I think it was 6 months when the smear campaign started, when he started posting things. We were literally living in the same house. He was taking videos of my child, taking videos of me, saying all kinds of nasty things about me on the internet. I stayed quiet. I never, ever directly responded to him. And that unalived him. Like, that made him so, so mad. Follow for more.